Hello, everyone. Why do some writers become famous after their deaths? Well, there are a number of reasons, but I actually have this theory that I haven't actually heard anyone else propose, but I actually think it's quite true. I actually think that the reason why a lot of authors become popular after their death, and I know that some of them it's because of they've been around a while, they've lasted, I get that. But I think another reason is that we tend to almost make gods out of writers after they die because when a writer is inaccessible, when they're not around, then you don't see their flaws, you don't see their humanity, and we can basically project whatever kind of characteristics we want to onto them like a god. um, when a writer is inaccessible, when there's a bit of mystery about them, we tend to think about them more as this perfect genius without any flaws, again like a god. It's almost religious in a secular sort of way. Um, and I actually think that is one of the negative aspects of trying of honoring or glorifying writers after they die, because especially when things come out about that writer that do not correspond with those preconceived notions, we can become disillusioned. But we really shouldn't be, because writers are not these perfect moral beings, they're human beings. And so we should not try to project onto them. But I think it's very sad that a lot of writers only become famous after their death, when people can project whatever the kind of characteristics they want onto them, instead of dealing with the author and appreciating the author while they're alive, when you have direct access to them and can ask them questions. But I think some people, they maybe even don't want the author around, because they can basically project whatever they want to into the book, and they don't want to have to contend with the author. So I think that actually has a lot to do with it, is that because when the writer is inaccessible, suddenly they become more mysterious and more like a genius. And to me, that's not the way to view art in my mind. To me, you have to view the writer as a flawed human being just like you. Art is about communicating with each other, and it's about flawed human beings communicating with each other. And when you try to idolize authors to such a degree, which happens after they die, that that aspect of the artistic process is stifled. And just for me personally, I honestly don't care about becoming famous after I die. I mean, I really don't. Because the thing is that if I'm not around to actually appreciate it, um, then what's the point of becoming famous after I die? I mean, in many ways, I really do not see the point of it. Now, of course, it's always great to to leave a legacy, but at the same time, it's like w- it's like I'm not around to enjoy it, and it's like and if I'm for example, if I'm like in the afterlife up in heaven or whatever, I'm not going to care about my legacy, so to speak. I mean, a legacy at that point is really for the benefit of other people. It's not for you. But when it comes for my own personal enjoyment, I'm not going to care, because like if I'm in heaven, I'm focusing on hopefully non-worldly pursuits. I'm not going to care so much about my writing legacy, although hopefully I can still write or create some way in heaven. But I'm not going to be hopefully after worldly glory at that point. At that point, it's going to be pure personal satisfaction, hopefully. So it's not something that I'm interested in really after my death. I mean, I'll be interested in it for the sake of other people, for their benefit. I hope my work endures, but I'm not going to personally enjoy it, because I'm not going to be in an environment where I can enjoy it after I die. And so, no, it's just unfortunate that so many writers don't actually get to experience um, um, appreciation for their work during their lifetime, when there's actually opportunity to appreciate it. Because even if they can be appreciated in some form after their death, it's not going to be the same. The experience is going to be entirely different. And so, no, but I just have this theory that it's about the reason why so many authors are appreciated after they die is because they almost take on this god like status, this legendary type status, which in many cases I just don't believe is healthy.